Hey there and welcome back. Today I have for you a pancake forward fold follow along routine. I'm going to take you through some simple exercises that will allow you to build your mobility and build your flexibility and getting more comfortable in a deeper range of motion when doing your pancake forward fold. This routine will be applicable to beginners, intermediates, and beyond that. I recommend that you have a yoga block or two to either assist in getting deeper into positions if you don't have the mobility to, sit in a pancake forward fold, and also to just help you relax into certain positions. But I'll let you know when the time comes to use those. But until then, let's get started, and thanks for being here. Okay, so the first exercise I want to take you through is a seated spinal twist. This is going to get some mobilization into our back and also loosen up our hips a little bit, but this is mostly to just get some movement going in our upper body so that we can fold ourselves in half later on in the routine. So the way we're going to do this is you're going to sit on your butt on your mat. You're going to take your left leg and sit like crisscross applesauce. You want to fold it over, and then you want to take your right leg and put it outside of your left knee. We're then going to take our right arm and put it on our knee that's up and twist away from that knee. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. I want you to think about elongating your spine and making yourself tall and looking over that left shoulder. Keep breathing. Make yourself tall and twist. Okay, now we can go ahead and switch. We're going to fold our right leg underneath, bring our left foot outside of our right knee, take our left arm, put it on our left knee, and go ahead and twist and keep breathing. Remembering to keep your spine tall, look over that shoulder, and just keep breathing. And that's about 30. All right, so now we're gonna move into the hips. We're gonna introduce some movement into our hips by doing a 90-90 pivot. So we can go ahead and put our legs out in front of us, about shoulder width bent. And the objective of this exercise is going to be to keep our chest pointing forwards, and we're gonna wanna drop our legs to one side. They should both be making a 90-degree angle, and we're just gonna wanna go back and forth while thinking about keeping your chest pointed in front of you. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And this is just to loosen up your hips and make them more accepting for the movements to come. Take it nice and slow. And yeah, you're going to feel an internal rotation on this back leg and an external rotation on this front leg. This is a great exercise to just brush off the cobwebs and get yourself ready for some more movement. We're gonna go for another 5 seconds. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stop on this right side in this position. I want you to recenter on your yoga mat and keep your legs at 90 degrees. This is called a 90-90 position. And what we're going to do now is we're going to hinge forward and bring our chest towards our knee. I want you to think about arching your back and bringing your knee forward and downwards. I don't want you to round at the back because this isn't going to provide the stretch that we need. So keep your spine tall. We're going to hinge forward as far as we can. We're going to go into a deeper stretch and then come back. That's one. We're going to do this for 10 reps, and we're going to hold the last rep for 5 to 10 seconds. So this is going to be 2. 3. And you want to remember to not round your lower back and lead with your chest. Bring your chest down towards the ground. 5, 6, 7, 8, and as you get more comfortable, you can go a little bit deeper, deepen that stretch, remembering to breathe. 9, and this 10th rep, we're gonna hold for about 10 seconds. So we're gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We can come back up and we're gonna do a 90-90 pivot to the other side. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on our left side. You wanna bring your spine tall. Think about hinging at your hips, arching your back, not rounding, and bringing your chest down towards the ground. Breathing with each rep, and trying to go a little bit deeper if it feels comfortable, but don't push yourself to a point of pain. Just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to hold this last one for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We can come back out of that. Awesome. So now we're going to go into a frog pose. So what this is it's going to further push our hips into an external rotation and kind of get a nice intense stretch into our adductors. I find that when I do my pancake forward fold, the adductors tend to be a limiting factor for me in my ability to get deeper into that position. So this will be a great warm up to prepare us for that position. So I'm going to go diagonal on my mat just so you can see a little bit better. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knees out pretty wide. And we're going to just have our knees at a 90-degree angle again. Come down on our elbows. And I want to pulse in and out of this position. We're going to do that for 45 seconds. So you can just come forward onto your elbows and then push your weight back towards your feet. And you're going to feel a pretty intense stretch in your hips, in your adductors. When you come back, you want to try and arch your back. That'll deepen the stretch into the hips. And we're just going to keep pulsing in and out of this for another 15 seconds. Come forward, come back, breathing. We'll do another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So now what I'd like us to do is to go into a one-legged frog. So it's very similar to this position that we just did, but instead of having both of our legs out at a 90-degree angle, we're going to extend one leg out. So we can start on the right side. Lean onto your left knee and stick your right foot out. And we're going to do this for 20 seconds. You want to keep that foot flat on the mat. Come down on your elbows just like we did before. And we're just going to pulse in and out just as we did with the frog stretch we just did. This is going to be more targeted into this adductor, and it's really going to allow us to loosen that muscle up. And just as before, you want to keep breathing. Try and go a little bit deeper with each rep. You're going to feel this foot want to come outwards, and that's completely fine. You can let that happen. We're going to do this for 20 seconds. You can kind of pause in that back position if it feels good. Okay, we got another 10 seconds here. It's probably been more than 20 seconds, but this one feels good, so. All right, so we can come out of that. And now we're gonna switch legs, so kick that left foot out, keep it flat on the mat, come down onto your elbows, and we're gonna go ahead and pulse back and forth slow, remembering to breathe. If you feel your foot sliding out, you can let that happen. It'll allow you to get a more intense stretch over this adductor. Another 10 seconds on this one. All right, and that's time. All right, so now on this next exercise is really going to be a demonstration on one of the main mechanics of the pancake forward fold, which is your hip tilt. The way that you do the pancake forward fold is you have to essentially tilt your pelvis forward to allow you to fold forward. You don't want it tilted backwards, you don't want to round it back, because otherwise you're not really stretching the muscles that you're supposed to be stretching. So this exercise is really going to demonstrate that hip motion that we need to properly get into a forward fold. If you've never done this before, and if you don't have a super deep range of motion, I recommend sitting on a yoga block, just like this, to elevate your hips. It'll make it much easier to get into that position that we need if we don't necessarily have the mobility. But I'm going to do it on the floor, and I'm going to turn to the side to demonstrate. But pretty much what we want to do is we want to be sitting with our legs straddled out, and we're going to be switching between this rounded back position and an arched back position. We want to do this. We're going to do this for about 10 reps, and we're going to hold the last rep just like we did with some of the other exercises before. And yeah, if you need the accommodation, go ahead and sit on the yoga block. It'll make this exercise much easier and much more effective for you if you don't have the range to sit on the mat. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Go from a rounded back to a flat back. 1, 2, 3, and it's good to keep your hands on your hips, kind of as a cue to understand the way that you're moving them, the way that you're tilting them. This is probably 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are going to hold this position for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. For this next exercise, we're going to take the principle that we just did with those hip rocks before when we were sitting on the mat, and we're going to apply that to a standing pancake good morning. So this is going to further demonstrate the concept of tilting your hips forward to get into that forward fold. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to stand at the end of our mat with our feet just wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to want to have your hands on your hips just like we did before to kind of help, feel that motion that we need to be doing. And we're going to, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to tilt our hips back, kind of like you want to point your butt behind you. And we're going to hinge forward at the hips, driving our chest forward. And we're going to go as deep down as feels comfortable, and then we're going to come back up. We're going to be doing this exercise for, again, 10 reps, and we're going to hold the final rep for 10 seconds. And of course, as we do this, after a few reps, you might feel that you want to go a little bit deeper into that range. You definitely should. Don't push yourself too hard, but it is good to push yourself a little bit deeper with each rep. So we're going to go ahead and start. 1, 2, remembering to lead with your chest and tilt your hips back as you come down. Bonus points if you squeeze your quads slightly. It'll help pull you deeper into that position. I think that's 6 at this point. 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Nice job. That one is a tough one, but that is it's another great way to build upon the concept of leading with your hips, leading with your chest, and not rounding at that lower back. We're probably going to do another variation of this sitting on the floor later in the routine, but yeah, that is the standing version. Okay, so this next exercise is going to involve actually sitting in a straddle on the floor. Just as before, if you need to sit to elevate your hips on a yoga block, feel free. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to sit in a straddle position on the floor, not too wide. You want to do something that feels comfortable for you. And we're going to focus on a side fold. So we're going to bring our chest down to our knee and try to reach our feet if we can. We're going to hold this position for about 15 to 20 seconds. We're going to do it on each side, and then we'll move into a different exercise. So the concept is going to be the same of hinging at the hips. You don't want a rounded lower back. We're going to make ourselves tall. You want to have a flat lower back. Tilt your hips forward. Bring your chest to face your left foot and think about bringing your chest down to your knee as much as you can. You're going to feel a stretch up your hamstrings here, and we're just going to try and reach our feet if we can. It's okay if you're not able to, but just keep reaching and keep breathing. We're going to hold this for 15 seconds. Okay, and now we can come back to the center. We're going to reset. So elongate our spine, tilt our hips forward, bring our chest to our knee on our right side, and try and reach your foot if you can. And we're going to hold that for 15 seconds. All right, awesome. And we can come back to the center. So now I'd like us to go into a cobra position just to kind of shake off that stretch. So you can come down onto your mat, support yourself, and let your hips drop down onto the mat. Just to get some opposite movement in. Before we do our seated good mornings. So you can come back to the center of the mat. And now this exercise is going to be pretty much what we just did when we were standing up, you know, the hinging forward, but we're going to be sitting down. So just as with before, if you want your yoga block, this is the time to grab it. We're going to sit into a straddle position, and just like before, we're going to do 10 reps, hold the last one for 10 seconds. For this, you could either keep your hands on your hips, or you can put them behind you, behind your head. But yeah, a cue for this, in addition to tilting your hips forward, you want to squeeze your quads and keep them engaged. You want to squeeze your thighs. It'll help you to keep tension in the right places and not put the stress on your knees. I find that sometimes with the pancake forward fold, I can have some tension on my knees. Squeezing the quads will avoid that. So go ahead, put your hands where they need to be, and we're going to elongate our spine and drop our chest forward as much as we can. Squeeze those quads and come back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to hold this last position for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So now we're going to go back into that cobra pose to shake that stretch off. So bring your hips down to the mat and just let your body relax. Now we're coming into our last pose that we're going to do. We're going to do 2 rounds of this, and what it is it's pretty much just going to be sitting in a pancake position. So we're going to use a block on our chest to support ourselves, to allow us to focus on breathing and relaxing into the position versus having to think about holding yourself up. And of course, if you need another yoga block under your hips, that is completely fine. But we're going to hold this first round for 30 seconds, and then we're going to rest a little bit, and we're going to do it again, hold it for a minute, and then that's going to be the routine. So I want you to put the yoga block somewhere close to your chest. It's just going to serve as a target. You don't want to go too far out. You know, you might not be there yet. We're going to place it in front of us, hinge at the hips, and drop our chest forward. Rest your chest, remembering to keep a flat back, and we're just going to sit in this position for 30 seconds, remembering to breathe. So just keep breathing and allow yourself to relax into it. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but that is how we get deeper. That is how we improve our range of motion, is by sitting in the positions that are uncomfortable. So we're going to go ahead, probably got another 10 to 15 seconds on this. And if you feel like you want to go deeper into the stretch, you can bump that yoga block out just a little bit, but not too much, because we're going to do this again. So, okay, we can come back out of that. And now I want you to come back into that cobra pose and just shake it out a little bit, relax, breathe, before we go into our final rep, or final hold of the routine. So for this next attempt, I want you to try and go as deep as feels possible. Yeah, we're gonna hold it for a minute and get some time in the position, which will allow us to deepen our range of motion, hopefully. All right, and if you feel like you want to take a rest before we do this final attempt, go ahead and pause the video, but we're gonna go straight into it. So we're gonna grab our yoga block, bring our legs out into a straddle, and now we're going to place the yoga block a little bit further out this time. You know, we are warmed up and we're primed, we've sat in the position, we wanna try and push ourselves a little bit deeper now. Okay, so we're gonna put the yoga block down, think about elongating our spine, flattening our back, and dropping our chest to that yoga block. And we're gonna sit in this position for a minute. Keep your quads engaged and just keep breathing. Keep breathing. Try and relax, even if it feels not super great. Just try and relax. You'll feel the tension dissipate over time as you hold the stretch. At this point, you might feel that you can go a little bit deeper into the position, so we can bump that yoga block out just a tiny bit more. Remembering to keep your quads engaged, keep that back from rounding. You don't want it to round. And we've got about another 20 seconds in this position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can come out of that stretch. And that is it. That is the pancake forward fold routine. Thank you for being here. I hope that you either did some exercises you've never done before or were able to access deeper ranges of motions that you weren't able to access before. But as always, keep coming back if you want to improve and deepen your straddle forward fold. And thank you for being here.